Alright, Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade players, this is more of a video for the JP players, but it's still relevant to Global because, you know, Global is catching up at a astonishing pace. We're already at the 1 year anniversary for JP as our half anniversary for Global, so yeah, we'll be here in no time. So right now on JP, they are introducing a lot of things. They've been kind of stalled out for a while waiting for Global to catch up. Now they're starting to do a few things. I wouldn't say they're picking up like rapidly, but they're at least putting some things out, right? So here's what to expect if you are a JP player and you're going to be logging into the game here in the next day or so or over the next week, because all this stuff is coming to the game very, very soon. So to start off with, we have this image right in front of me. This is going to be the new profile frame icon menu page thingy. I don't know what else to call it. It's going to allow you to customize your profile image with a frame and a character, essentially. Now, it has yet to be seen if these are going to be frames or profile images that are unlocked based on if you pulled the character or not, or be unlocked through like events or stuff like that. I imagine they're going to do like event specific frames. I imagine the character icons just come from summoning the character, right? Because you can see there's two different Itadoris here, right? So that means there's probably going to be multiple different types of Itadori profile icons depending on which Itadori you have in the game. So you'll be able to basically go and select their art as your profile icon. That would make the most sense to me. As for like moving frames and whatnot, none of these show the effect of moving. It would be really cool. I mean, people wanted like moving titles for a while, not just images. So maybe eventually we'll see like moving titles, moving frames, but I doubt it here at the launch of this future. That's probably like a 2-year anniversary thing for them to do like a small upgrade like that or something like that. I don't know, we'll just have to see. But basically the post here on X says new future profile icon / frame to be added. Profile icon frame is a feature that allows you to freely combine icons and frames and set them to your profile. To commemorate this, we will be giving away 8 types of frames to all players. Okay, giving away makes it sound like the rest of them are going to have to be earned, right? So more than likely they're going to have to be earned. This is going to be implemented after the update on Monday, April 21st. So here in a day or so, depending on your time zone, this is going to be happening, right? So make sure you are on the lookout for this, especially if you are a JP player. Additionally, we are getting the addition of more floors to Lucery Tower. So we will be adding new floors 61 through 80 to the Illusory Tower. By clearing the added levels, you can obtain luxurious items, including the Phantom Seal. So that confirms more Phantom Seals to be able to limit break your characters past the limit cap. So that is good. How many? I don't know. It says 1 singular here, including the Phantom Seal, but I don't know. Maybe there could be more than 1. So as of right now, maybe just 1. It would be nice if there are in fact more, but we'll just have to wait and see what they end up doing with that. But yeah, Lucery Tower getting an update for floor 61 to 80. I'm really curious what this says right here. It's probably saying something like, I imagine I need all these characters to be broken with the Phantom Seal or something like that. I could be completely wrong here. I want to know. It says, how far can I get with this? My goal is floor 65. Oh, okay. That is a good question. You know, which characters are going to now clear floor 60 through 80? That's actually, it's going to get so much harder. If you've been playing on Global and you've been climbing through a Lucery Tower, then you know that like even as you get to floor 40, 445, I feel like is the hard wall that people hit. Eventually you'll be able to clear it if you just nuke with Gojo or do like a stall strategy. There are ways around it, but 445 is very hard, and then the floors after that are substantially easier in my opinion. But yeah, so we'll see what 61 to 80 hold for us. I'm very, very curious to find out. And then additionally, we just got this bit of information, which is why I waited to report these 2 pieces of information, even though they were out a little bit earlier, because I had a feeling something like this was going to come out and they were going to share it with us, and I was just waiting for this. So on Monday, April 28th, a new playable character will join Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade. That playable character is going to be Takuma Ino. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize, but Ino in general is going to be the new playable character. And this is the image here on X to kind of commemorate the release of Ino coming out. He is going to be a Shibuya character, obviously, so we can kind of expect his moves to reflect what you may have seen in the manga or the anime if you guys have seen the Shibuya arc. But very, very hyped for this character, and I hope I hope he's a little bit better than Mei by no means was bad, but I wouldn't say she was super crazy. I mean, like, just Mei being Mei was the pull factor for a lot of people. So Ino, on the other hand, I don't think as many people are going to be as crazy excited about him. Could be wrong, but I think they need to make him good to give him some, pull factor, make people want to pull for him. And then here is essentially what I believe is going to be the art for him, or similar to the art for him. We'll have to see, but this is pulled from the data mine on the Discord if you guys haven't seen this yet. So this is potentially what his art will look like. And then last but not least, we got the JP website, the database for the JP players, and they kind of have some predictions about what to expect for this character. Interestingly enough, I scrolled through this and looked through it earlier. They don't tell us what character type they think he's going to be. I think they're kind of up in the air on what character type he might end up being. I don't think anybody really knows. So I don't know if I even want to put a guess out there myself saying what character type, because people are going to come back at me and tell me I'm wrong. But I mean, yeah, so Ino will participate in Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade starting from Monday, April 28th as a new playable character. The rarity of him is not known yet, whether it is an SSR or SR, to be fair, but more than likely it's going to be an SSR, right? I would say 90% sure, but that is something to take into account, okay? Expectations for battles using Visiting Beasts. So in other words, they're expecting him to use his different types of beast in battle like you saw in the anime. So he's going to be a character who is attractive for his necromancy by putting the hood on, and it can be expected that he will be a Jujutsu character using the beast forms throughout the game. So more specifically, though, the part you want to pay attention to, is this part right here, Jujutsu character or Jutsu character, meaning he's going to be able to use recollections like non-standard and stuff like that. He's not going to be a Taijutsu character. And then Ino's uses 4 types of spirit beast abilities. Ino, which is implemented on the 28th, is likely to implement the giant turtle and spirit turtle skills, which are used during the Shibuya incident. And these are rough translations, which is why I'm kind of skipping around in what it says, because if you were to read through this, it doesn't always make the most sense. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, so keep that in mind as we're going through this. And then they're expecting that one of the beasts that he uses is going to be a Jujutsu attack that tracks enemies, or something like that, which could be really interesting. When implemented in battle, is likely to be a ranged attack with a special effect. So he's going to have a ranged attack that somehow tracks enemies or does some sort of special effect, which is a high possibility. They're also expecting that he's going to have a high potential self buff. So one of his abilities is to self buff himself, obviously. A technique in which water is applied to oneself, like skill 3 of SR Yoshino. It is expected to have a buff that increases durability, such as granting invincibility itself. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the self buff is going to be like what we've seen in the past with other characters, like where Gojo self buffs himself and gives himself extra damage or something like that. It could be an invincibility self buff or something to reduce damage or something like that. I don't think he's going to be a tank. It wouldn't make a lot of sense for him to be a tank, but they could make him a tank, okay? And then they also had this last idea that his technique could be used similar to Panda, so there's a possibility that he will become a special character who, when he puts on the hat after a special, like, ultimate skill, it changes his command skills. Just like how Panda, like, when he does his ultimate, the Green Panda, to be more specific, does his ultimate, he changes into gorilla mode, right? So that could be a possibility. I doubt it, because like, what does he really do without the knitted hat on? I highly doubt that part. That's a stretch for them, in my opinion, but let me know what you guys think. I think that's a bit of a stretch. And then of course I feel like this was probably one of the characters they were the laziest with so far. I mean, maybe as new information is available, they'll come up with like new team builds and ideas and predictions and whatnot, but they basically said run Ino with 3 supports and he'll be good. Like, this doesn't take into account typing or anything like that, because they don't have a prediction for the type. Maybe they're predicting red because 2 red characters here. I don't know. These are just 2 of the best buffers and debuffers, right? So like, yeah, any character looks good with these 3 characters. So it's a safe bet, to be fair, that he will be good on a team like that. So him as the main attacker, though, hopefully he'll be able to do some good damage. We'll have to see. And then because he is going to be a Jujutsu character, these are the recommended recollections. A lot of these are familiar to you right now on global, if you are a global player, and if you're JP, yeah, you've used these before, right? So that is basically, in a nutshell for what we know so far. I don't know when we're going to get more information. When we do get more information, I will let you guys know. It'll probably be me reading his kit right before the summons on JP or something like that. But bad news is, I will say, when I got a new phone recently, I have to put this out there. I have to let you guys know. I lost my JP account. My JP account was not linked. I did not realize it, and I traded in my phone. So I kept every other account. Every other game I play is fine, except for the JP account. So I got Mei, I had Sukuna, I had Zone G, I had Domain Expansion Gojo. It was such a good account. And my polls were good on that account too. And now I have to start over. So, I mean, I guess good, because maybe more summons coming for Ino when he comes out. I don't know if I'll have all the cubes I need by then after. I don't know if I'll have time to grind out the story just yet, but we'll see. At the very least, though, as more stuff happens on JP, I guess I'll have more cubes to summon, so that is something. So if you guys want to see those summons, make sure you go down there, hit that like button on this video, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and let me know what you guys think about Ino. Are you excited for him? Are you not excited for him? Are you going to save for another Shibuya character, or is this the Shibuya character to summon for so far? Obviously, we don't know everything. When we know his kit, then you'll be able to make an informed decision. But which way are you leaning right now? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.